HGTV says French country decor is inspired by the stunning homes of Provence and often incorporates distressed woodwork furniture. I absolutely love a French country shabby chic decorated home. It presents an overload of feminine touch and elegance with a rustic, comfy, cozy feel. And when deciding a theme for my consultation office, French country shabby chic was the direction I was headed in. But when I went on a mission for distressed end tables, they were way out of my price range. Yet I was still inspired. So join in and watch my DIY on shabby chic end tables that are now at my consultation office for only $5. So I am here at the Salvation Army dropping some things off that I don't want. And I noticed this table is here. And it's a solid table. And so I'm going to take this table. It's a decent table. I'm going to take this table and maybe use it as an end table or something. Paint it, refinish it or something. But I'm definitely taking it. So I donate and I receive. Beautiful. And I'm at the Salvation Army, so this is so good. Free. So I'm driving my coupe today, not my SUV. And I had a time getting this thing in my little car. And so looking around, I noticed that there was a glass for it. And so I am definitely happy about this find today. I can't wait to stain it or paint it or something and use it. Hi, this is Kandia with Kandia Haynesworth Designs, and thank you so much for joining in on my new series called Home in Headquarters, where you get to watch me transform a 100-year-old vintage townhouse into a new home for myself and new headquarters for my home-based embroidery personalization business. What you are watching are the contents for DIY chalk that I will be using to paint the tables that I found at the Salvation Army free of charge. And yes, I said tables. In the video, there was only one when I went to donate the first box of items, but when I went back a few hours later, there was a second one. Only that it did not have the glass slab that belongs on the top of the insert, but that is okay. So I'm not sure if it's a situation where, when I was there, I couldn't fit both of them in my car, even if they had two. But I was able to get one in my car, and I went back and then they had another one, and so I took that one too. And so I am going to paint the tables. I thought that maybe I would refinish it, but because I have this shabby chic theme going on in my consultation office, these are going to work out so well. And I'm going to do some distressing, but I really just want it to be a bold, bright white with some shabby chic distressing, and it will fit into the theme of my office consultation room or consultation office room. Okay, so here's what you're gonna need for your DIY chalk paint. Pretty much you're just gonna need your plaster of Paris, and you're going to need some paint. Now, this is the paint that I got for $5 at the Habitat for Humanities. And so it's going a long way. I was able to do the chair. I'm doing 2 tables. And there's so many other things that I'm going to do with this one can of paint. Ideally, for these tables, you probably would want to spray paint them. But because I am on a very limited budget, I am stretching this paint as far as I possibly can. And it works because this is a big tub of big container of the plaster of Paris with the gallon of paint, so it goes a long way. You want to have a disposable container to mix it together, as well as a disposable utensil. I'm just using a butter knife. You want to have some water near you as well, because this is plaster and it will start to thicken and get, little start to set inside of the paint. So you want to just stir it often and just add a little dab of water, drops of water when you can. I'm using two different kind of paint brushes because the top of the table have these little grooves, so I want to be able to get inside of there. I also have baby wipes because the top of the table have this kind of wicker print. You'll see it in a minute, like the chevron wicker print, and I really want to get in there and create a distressed look for the insert. All right, I also have some gloves to protect my nails. Let's get started. Move. I guess it just accumulated some more dust. So I just went in the grooves and just kind of removed the dust and the top of the table and the legs of the table with the baby wipe. Okay, and so as you can see, this has a chevron print. So I'll come in a little closer so you can see exactly what that looks like. All right, and so because it had that chevron print, I really want I really want the color to bleed through. So this is the area that I really want to keep distressed. However, the sides of the table here, I want it to be solid, but the edges of the table, I want it distressed. So for the most part, let's start with this area here. Now, for your chalk paint, you're going to do half and half. So if you're going to do a cup, you're going to do half paint, half plaster, okay? So that's how it works. And then you're going to have your water close so you can mix it and stir it and keep it flowing. You don't want it to get too thick on you, okay? So I'm just going to give it a good mix again, like so. Because the plaster will make it thick on you, okay? All right, so let me just make sure that you can see what I'm doing. All right, and so I'm gonna take the smaller brush first, and I'm just gonna start with going in those grooves. Now I must tell you, because this is a dark wood, I am going to assume that this is going to take about 3 coats of paint for the finish that I want. Remember, I want some solid areas. Even though I want distressed areas, I do want some solid areas. So I'm thinking that this is going to take about 3 coats of paint. I doubt that I'll be able to get it done with 2, but we're going to see. All right, and now for the chevron print, I'm just going to go in there with the larger brush, and I'm just going to get it in there like that. Just brush it. And then what I'm going to do is take my baby wipe and just kind of wipe it all away, but really pushing it inside of the grooves of this this print. Then in some areas I'm going to wipe some more away than others, but I just want to make sure that I'm getting it in there. I really want it to be distressed, okay? And the thing that I really like about the distressed finish is that you really can't mess up here. You really can't mess up because it's supposed to look like it's chipping or coming off in the first place. So I really like that. So I'm just going to finish this all the way around for the first layer. And I'm just going to continue with this finish. So I don't want it to be that thick. But I do want inconsistencies. I don't want it to have a perfect flow either. I just don't want it to look like I spilled paint there. So I'm going to paint the first layer and then I'll meet you back here. Okay, so I have finished one coat. And as you can see, it will definitely need 2 coats. As you can see, the wood bleeding through. So I'm just going to do the second coat. Now, when you are doing this, you have to wait for it to completely dry, and it is. Otherwise, you will make it worse. Okay, so here it is with 2 coats. Okay, and so as you can see, it's much thicker, and I could get away with another coat, But considering I'm about to sand it down and distress it because it has these little clumps and lumps and particles, I don't think that I'm going to put a third coat on. So as you can see, I really focused on the edges here. I really wanted to give it the appearance that it's just old and worn and the paint is wearing off and the natural wood is coming through. And I focused on the edges where wear and tear are likely to occur. So I'm going to go down the bottom here, down here on the legs. And so those are the areas that are likely to get those nicks, you know, those bumps and stuff. Okay, so as you can see, it is really starting to look old. So I'm going to finish this entirely. Then I'm going to just sand it down with a smooth grit and then add some wax to it. Then we'll be done. And here is the finished look. And this is that DIY shabby chic chair I did with the embroidery and did the upholstery on the cushion. And there's that Goodwill ottoman that I made over. The ottoman was $2.50, and I went and got some furry fabric from Hobby Lobby and made a slip cover. And I will post a link below for both of these projects. And there is my dress form. It's not a mannequin, it's a dress form that I've just thrown some fabric over and then glued a string of rhinestones and a button to make it look like a necklace, as well as a string of rhinestones to make it look like a belt. And the fabric pretty much is just pinned very tightly. And this fabric once again came from Hobby Lobby. But the star of the show is this DIY shabby chic table that I actually got from the Salvation Army. And my sister made me feel like I was a thief and told me that I didn't know if they had cameras and that I should not have taken those tables. And then I had to go back into the Salvation Army the next day and talk to the manager, who assured me it was okay. She didn't mind at all that I took the tables and told me, no worries, we're not gonna come and get you for being a thief of the garbage. And so I may be a garbage picker, but not a thief. Okay, and so these DIY tables were inspired by what I saw on Pinterest, what I saw on Etsy, and what I saw online. And so I am encouraging you all that if you want this look, consider looking at a piece of furniture in your house or even your neighbor's houses, something that they may be giving away, a family member's house, and do it. I mean, again, you did see that it was selling for $375 for one end table, and the person actually sold it. Not to me, but they actually sold it. And this literally cost me $5 for the paint. That's it. Not even for the table, for the paint. So if you can get the table free, why not? Other than that, that's all I have for you today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you have not done so, click that subscribe button and that bell so you can be notified when I upload videos for embroidery, sewing, and crafts, as well as business tips and presentation tips. And you can also come and visit me on Facebook at KandiaHaynesworth.com or on Instagram and Pinterest. And until then, I'll see you next time. Bye!